kick off, this episode requires a little explanation. See, our intention on the tour was to visit brick and mortar stores that you, the viewers, could also visit. World Magic Shop was at the time a physical store with a counter that anyone could drop in at. However, since filming this episode, they've gone 100% online, and I've just been on the phone to David Penn to find out why. He's a very nice man and he was happy to explain. So, do you remember when Malcolm said,
I used to have a shopping town at some point. I had to give that up. That building got sold from underneath us.
Turns out this is happening across the board right now. The building you see here was on a 3-year lease, after which the rent was doubled. Like any good business staring down the barrel of a huge change in circumstances, World Magic Shop had to make changes of its own, and decided they would follow in the footsteps of Penguin, Illusionist and countless others by going all online. Well, here we are, World Magic Shop. This place kind of inspired this journey because I wasn't really thinking much about magic shops until a couple of years ago I started watching the Wizard product review. And it got me thinking about just how many magic products are released on a regular basis. And it really is a surprising number. And so that was tied into this shop, and that got me thinking about, how the whole business works. And that's essentially what led to this whole journey. So let's take a look inside. David says the shift to an all-online business has been a great move, as not having to keep the counter staffed has offered time to focus on publication of their own products, and they've been able to improve their order throughput.
Straight upstairs.
You clearly have a lot of footfall in here, I can see.
Well, we clearly have a lot of blammo in here. That's the main
it's blammo hair, of course.
Yes, and it will not come out of this car.
Excellent. Wow. So,
how's things?
Things are great.
Good.
You are the last shop on this run, as it were.
Oh, really?
Heading home to restock after this. We've
Okay.
been all around the south coast, then we're going for the northern shops.
Right.
How long has the World Magic Shop been around? Because it's the first one that I was ever aware of.
Yeah. They've been around for a very long time, but with different owners over the years, it's kind of passed between different people. So, if you remember back in the day, everything was brought out as Wizard FX products and that sort of thing. Nowadays, everything comes out under the World Magic Shop name, and obviously with the home of the Wizard product review and all of that sort of thing, which is what most people know as.
That's where most people find out about.
We've been here in Rugby for the last 3 years almost, having moved down from Birmingham. And we were in Birmingham in 2 different units up there for a number of years before my time.
So is this where it all goes down then? Like the other magic shops we've been to that have their own product, just like they have like a back room with a studio where they do all the filming. They have a workshop where they do all the.
Yeah, well, if you turn around there, you'll see we were set up for some filming a couple of weeks ago for a couple of new products that we've got coming out. We've had. Over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks, we've been working on 3 new products because we've got the Lads Convention coming out, which is later at the end of this month. All is not lost if you'd like to visit World Magic Shop, as they still run a stand at the Blackpool Magic Convention, and they host their own one-day convention every September called Lads, which stands for Lectures and Dealers. In fact, I think preparation for Lads is why David wasn't in store on the day we visited. It's going to be a good day. Very good day up in Sutton Coldfield. Busy one.
Can you dem something for us?
I'm not the dem type, really. Normally we've got Dave and John here, though I've been doing a bit of liquid forks today. Yeah. Want to see a bit of liquid forks? You're going to have to dem for me afterwards, though. Hugh's told me that I have to see your Torn Restored card.
It's not Torn Restored.
You ought to see Card Warp.
Yeah, that's the one I do, yeah.
Cool. So you start off with like an optical bend when nothing actually happens. The actual bend happens when you come up here. And you see it start to bend. Can you see that going?
I can see that going, yeah.
It goes to about 90 degrees. Now, are you left or right-handed?
I am right-handed.
Okay, let me just straighten this out and let's chuck that into your hand and just hold on to it, but let it turn in your fingers. Let it turn, let it turn, let it turn, let it turn. And you feel that happen. And then you end up with, So I won't go through the whole routine, but liquid forks is one of the routines that we've been selling for years and years. I mean, give it a go, try and bend it back, but and people think you've got like a laser beam in your belt buckle or whatever, but you just give it and then you start to lose the tines and that sort of thing as well.
Cool.
But yeah.
So there are a lot of places that they sell things as but they sell their own creations because, like you say, you have your World Magic Shop Presents. Do you ever think that maybe you would get more custom if you had like an exclusive on stuff? Because even though they are World Magic Shop productions, they you can buy them from pretty much any magic shop, right?
Yeah, well, there's certain stuff that we do kind of have exclusives on, like coming up to Blackpool this year, we had the Spike stage size, which was never sold to anyone else apart from direct through us.
Okay.
The Speed Bands isn't through the main distributor in the US. That's purely if people, like if other shops want to sell it, they're more than welcome to, but they need to come directly to us rather
so
than
they have to buy it from you and then.
Yeah, purely because. Obviously, Murphy's does a lot of work with Eagle Masika and some of the other sort of IET products, so they've already got that sort of thing in place.
So the Wizard product review.
Mm-hmm. We'll take you down and show you the set as well.
Oh, I would love to see the set.
You can sit on the sofa.
You've got like the whole live thing now as well, haven't you? Is that a result of having moved into big?
A big part of it. It was a part of it is the response to the fact that everyone seems to want to do a Magic review show now as well.
Yes.
And a lot of people were kind of taking a similar format to what we were doing with two people sitting there chatting about it. So what we thought is we'll try and bring some more people in, bring the audience in. And the way that we actually run it on the nights now is they come up here and we kind of do a pre-review with them. So they'll watch the trailer, they'll watch performance, and then we'll discuss how the gimmick works with some stuff, where it's stuff that it makes sense for, and they can have a little look at it and see what they feel about the quality and that sort of thing. So they've got a bit more of an insight as well. Okay, so it says no admittance, but this is actually where we do the Wizard product review, so come on in. This is the sofa.
Cool. So where do people sit when there's an audience?
So obviously at the moment it's not really set up as we'd run a show. Oops, sorry. Catching the dog. But we have a couple of these flight cases on the back here. We've got all the chairs out in front, so we've got people kind of staggered up as well. We also get a couple of people sat on this side for interacting with the guys when we're doing dems and that sort of thing. So we've actually still got some stuff under here from the last review show. So Cloud9, which is possibly by Shinlin, but he disclaimed all knowledge of it actually on the video. We've got
more Blabberhouse.
Yes, exactly.
The Selenium
shift with all of its gimmicks.
Box, tiny. It's so weird because I literally watched the show with Ivan just the other day.
Yeah, and I mean we filmed that actually the night before it went out.
Wow.
So we have to go pretty quick. Then obviously we've got the old Theatre Magic pinball machine, which is a bit of a crowd favourite. We used to have a bit of a tournament on that when we were back in Birmingham.
People played this before. Before the review.
Yeah. That case over there becomes my bar where I throw the bottles around and all that sort of thing. And then that goes through to the offices. We'll take you through there in just a sec. And then more of the warehouse, which is pretty tidy actually. Yeah, this is some stuff that we've got at the minute on a £5 for £10 offer because as I say we're clearing some space out. So 5 DVDs for a tenner on those. We used to have a whole bunch of stock up there, which we've now managed to sort of condense down. That's an extra layer that comes up behind the shop. And then this is all our own products basically down this side. Shrink wrapping machine and all. This is the old packing desks. But it's actually surprisingly tidy.
It is, and one thing that we spotted in the other shops is that they literally used every inch of space. And here, you could see
Well, we also use the space that's there for the show. If we clear all of that out, that's pretty much the same size as a stage, so we use it for the illusion show rehearsals and all that sort of thing as well. Right. So we've had the water tank out in there. So I don't know if you've seen David's show.
I've not seen David's show.
So we've got.
I went to see the Champions of Magic, but he wasn't on that time.
Was it Young and Strange?
Young and Strange.
Yeah, they kind of came in when we came out of that show. But yeah, we've got the big water tank that he did on Britain's Got Talent. We've got the Audience Dismember head sword's just gone that we had as a background for the show. That one's moved on to another show now. We've got Clear Soaring in Half, all sorts of stuff. So
you gonna like that?
Yes.
A few days ago, we were in the smallest magic shop in the world, and I think this may be the largest. If not in the world, then at least in England, because
it's not so much with the smaller operators that they can undercut us because of lower costs, but the fact that the smallest ones that are doing less than 60,000 or so a year don't have to charge the VAT. So obviously we, because we're a big company and I think we turn over, way more than that, sort of multiples of that. We have to charge that 20%. The working pros out there is not a problem because obviously they'll be claiming all that sort of thing back anyway. But it is a bit of a challenge for us. There is also sort of specific pricing that the dealers give, especially for the first couple of months of a product release. So we can't really discount in that period anyway. But some people don't play by the rules.
Wow. Controversial. You obviously, being an online shop, you must have a huge warehouse somewhere that's full of stock.
Yes, we do.
And yet, up here, it's quite controlled. We've been to other magic shops where they've had huge amounts of stock out.
No, we had to move stock to move around the shop. Yeah.
Well, this.
So, how do you decide what gets to be like?
Well, this room that you're in at the moment is probably about 1/6 of the unit size. So obviously we've got our offices downstairs, which I'll give you a quick tour of, and then we've got our studio for the Wizard product review, which is about twice the size of this room, and then we've got our warehouse beyond that as well. And essentially the stuff that comes up here is all of the new releases. We've got a section over here for our own releases from a little while ago, and then there's sort of a range of stuff for beginners. We'll be chatting to people up here about what they need and what kind of magic suits them, and we'll just go and grab stuff that works for them. But the bulk of what we keep downstairs is our own products anyway, because there's about 12,000 items on the website. It doesn't make sense to keep everything physically here, especially the stuff that's older and people aren't as in need.
Salary one a year.
Yeah, but because we get the volume of sales, we're getting at least one order a week over from the US, quite often too. So people aren't waiting long for stuff that they order online anyway. But yeah, it's a big old unit. Yeah. We have to do quite a lot of bulk with stuff as well to get the prices. My background is from flair bartending and flipping the bottles, which you've probably seen on the show. So I've played around with some contact juggling stuff with them.
All right.
And things like that, but not enough to show anyone. But we'll show you through to the offices and stuff, and that's kind of the end of the tour, really.
You say you have a few beginner tricks out here,
yes,
and some sort of general interest magic stuff. Do you get many walk-ins, many people who've never done magic before, and they say, I was really interested in magic. I found out about your shop. I came in. I want to learn magic.
We get a couple a week probably that are complete novices, never done anything before. We've got things like actually David Penn's Street Magic Secrets that he brought out a long time ago while he had highlights in his hair.
Seen the pictures.
And it was, that's a 2-disc set, which we also sell, like when we do the illusion shows. We did a tour with Faye Presto and a few others where we were over in Jersey doing the Champions of Magic tour. So we did a few dates with them, and that was what we were selling in the foyer. And we were sort of demming some of the stuff from that in the foyer and signing copies of it and that sort of thing. It was quite good fun. But that's a 2-disc set that's got sort of 25 beginner level tricks, and it's a bit of a mix. So you've got card magic, you've got there's a fold up lottery ticket that turns into a tenner. All that sort of stuff that you can make at home. You don't need any specific props for, apart from a deck of cards and a few coins. Yeah. Well, I don't think there's even any of those in there. No, I don't think there's even a need for that one.
Wow.
Yeah. I know you were thinking of that.
I was thinking,
No, it's not that kind of bill switch. So yeah, this is the offices. I can't let you in the top secret.
No, that's top secret.
That's the production suite. Right. This is my desk. This is the crazy bit. This is where all the packing happens. All the new releases arrive here. Yeah. This is where we make up all the one-way decks. That's kind of.
That's the
highlights. The long highlights. But yeah, this is kind of the area that it happens. These are the orders that are waiting people to come collect. But yeah, this is kind of our little area. And I have to have my empty bottles there for throwing around when I get bored.
Is there like a workshop? Because other places that release their effects, they have a workshop. But I get the impression that, from the things I've seen, you kind of have stuff made externally, don't you?
Yeah, because of the sort of volumes that we use for the majority of our effects, everything kind of gets made outsourced, because we're doing sort of 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 gimmicks at a time. We get some of the creators make up the gimmicks like that. Webster's Jot.
Yeah.
That one, he's made up all the gimmicks for us and been paid separately for those. With other stuff, we use companies. Everything's in the UK actually, apart from the forks, and that's purely for the production costs on the forks to keep them usable and disposable, essentially. But everything else is made, tooled, cast, and everything in the UK.
How do people find out about World Magic Shop then? Because you don't have a high street store anymore. Nope. We had a bit of a time finding you because when you look for you on the map, your star kind of appears on the map. And you're like, well, is it down that one or down that? And you kind of have to figure it out for yourself to get here. So people have to be looking for this place to find it.
Yes. But that's because it's a secret. Secret location. But no, it's basically we do pretty well on Google. The vast majority of people find us through the Wizard Product Review because it's because the majority of dealers are putting up videos online for each of the products, but they're all putting up the same trailer with the same text under it and the same everything else. Because we do the Wizard Product Review with the different one, and we kind of stand out a little bit from that, and then people find the shop through there because our address and everything's on the website.
Thank you very much.
No problems at all. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much.
Next week, as a mark of respect to the next stop on our tour, which tragically burned down sometime after our visit and is no longer trading, there will be no episode. Catch us again in a fortnight's time as our second loop of the trip takes us to my hometown of Sheffield and Magic Enterprises. Until then, I'm Amazing Stace. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.